I'm here this evening with Dr. Mark Horne, our president-elect of Mississippi State Medical Association, and a very, very special guest, his son, Fletcher Horne. Now, Dr. Horne and Fletcher, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourselves and then the initiative that you guys have started in South Mississippi, especially during this COVID pandemic? It's so helpful, and I think that it's something that everyone else should be looking into replicating throughout the state and throughout the United States to support and help our healthcare workers.
Thanks for the opportunity, Avni. I'm Mark Horne. I'm a practicing internist. I've been here in Laurel, Mississippi for the past 28 years. And I'm now, for the past almost 2 years, the chief medical officer at our hospital, South Central Regional Medical Center, in our health system here. Over the past several weeks, as people across the country have been doing the same, we've been dealing with the COVID-19 crisis and how it's affecting our healthcare workers and staff and our communities, our patients. When we had our first patient a few weeks ago, I could see how tense the nursing staff were, and I was there that night when it happened. I was actually self-isolating in the hospital to stay away from my daughter, who had just returned from Scotland. She was doing a semester away and had to return home, and because she had to self-isolate, I left home to stay at the hospital so she could be at our home here. So I was there that weekend when we got our first patient, and I could see how really just discomforting it was to our healthcare workers and our nursing staff and others. So what I did was the next morning I brought them some donuts just to say thank you and took the time to talk to them. When I did come home, I told Fletcher and my wife and family about how that it affected them, how much it had helped their mood and their morale. And then Fletcher, you can take it from there.
Yeah, so my name is Fletcher Horne. I'm 15 years old, and I guess the whole inspiration for this project started when my dad had told me what he had done, how he had taken donuts one morning to them. He mentioned that it was a great morale boost to them. It encouraged them. It showed them that people appreciated what they were doing. And then I saw on the news where there was two other cases, I believe, where people were also getting pizza and taking it to some of these healthcare workers and just taking food there and showing that they appreciate it. And so I decided to do the same thing. And so we set up a GoFundMe page. And I think our original goal was about $2,500. And within the first 24 hours, we had already doubled that and hit 5,000. And as it stands right now, I believe we have $8,300 on the GoFundMe page, and in separate cash and check donations, we have a little over 1,000. So we're really close to $10,000 in just over a week. So it's been much more than we anticipated.
Wonderful. Can you walk us through the process of how you started the GoFundMe page and where the money is going? I think that may be a concern for many people. And then also the precautions that you're taking as you're delivering this, as I assume that this is a personal food delivery.
Yeah, I can do it. So making a GoFundMe page is very straightforward. All you really need is an email. You need your credit card, debit card information, and stuff like that. Just go to GoFundMe.com and they do it step by step and show you exactly how to make a GoFundMe page. And then the best way to get it out there and advertise it, I just got on my mom's phone and I sent the link to a bunch of her friends, and I just told them all to share it. And if they can't donate, just share it. And I mean, that's the biggest way we got to $5,000 in less than 24 hours. They all just shared it, and I think like right now we have probably about 140-ish donors and over 1,400 shares. So it's the big thing is sharing it so you can get it to people maybe outside of exactly where you live. Like we have donations from California and Kansas.
Wow.
But it's not just here in Mississippi. So the biggest thing is just to get it out and share it. And we part of my Boy Scout project is I'm not supposed to touch the money. So what happens is when you donate, it goes straight into this bank account that I can't touch it because I don't, I guess, own the banking account. But so it goes straight to the banking account. I never touch the money, and they write the check themselves and hand us the check when we go get the food. And now when we are ready to deliver a meal. We did our first meal delivery on Saturday. And so what we did was we just went to where we were getting the food. We gave them the money, but we can't, obviously with our hospital, we can't be touching the food. And so the only people that touched it were the workers that delivered it to the cars. And once we got in the cars and we drove to the hospital, my dad, who works there, was allowed to touch them and carry them in. And we had other workers come and take the bags inside and hand out the food.
So the other avenue you touched on it, accountability is a key in events like this. So the Boy Scouts, when my wife was first working with Fletcher to do this project, she got a bit of pushback because they wanted to be absolutely certain that the fundraising was doing the right thing. So the secret sauce was that she went to our local bank and said, "Would you set up an account?" And they said, "Of course we will. This is a fantastic idea." So the money goes from GoFundMe to that account, which is controlled by the president, the local president of the bank, and that passed muster. And then the materials, and Boy Scouts, they like you to purchase materials with the money that you raise. Well, our materials is food to give to healthcare workers. So that, and we have a document. If anybody needed that document, certainly Boy Scouts across the state of Mississippi have that document available to them. And it's actually been sent to Boy Scouts nationally. The BSA national organization should have that document. It's been shared with them. So that would serve as perhaps as a roadmap to Boy Scouts across the country who wanted to do similar things, and or some other local organization that wanted to do in a very responsible way, be good stewards of the funds. The other thing is, if there are any remaining funds after this project is finished, we're going to be delivering. He wants to deliver meals for several weeks. If at the end of all this, money remains, it's going to be donated. It's designated in his document that all those monies would be given to the hospital foundation to continue providing for healthcare needs in our community.
Oh, that's a wonderful initiative. Thank you so, so much, Fletcher. It's a testament to the leadership that you have shown in your community and a great example for young people, including myself. So thank you for that. Do either of you have a message for anybody who's going to be watching this video, whether it's the general public, physicians, other healthcare workers?
I mean, yeah, it's easier than you think, and it's a great thing to do. I mean, we thought about it on a Sunday, and we started the GoFundMe page and raising money a week later, and we already had enough money. So, I mean, from the time we thought about the idea and to the time we delivered our first meal was just under 2 weeks. So I guess, it's never too late to, I guess, start, and just don't be afraid to start the project if you feel like it's something that you're passionate about.
And I would add, being in healthcare, knowing the stress that our healthcare workers and frontline first responders are, whether it's healthcare or law enforcement or emergency services or any of these frontline, even grocery workers, wherever your heart is, there are needs in your community. A lot of us, I don't have more time, but Fletcher does, and a lot of people are at home and they have more time on their hands. Use that time to do something positive to help your community, to lift spirits, to nurture the body with hot food, and just help people. It's an amazing thing, and a lot of people have time to work on it.
Well, thank you both so, so much for your leadership. This is incredible, and I can't wait to share this. And I know that Mississippi State Medical, I speak for us, we are very, very proud from an MSMA staff point, from our executive director, from our board of trustees. Everyone expresses their deepest thanks to you for setting an example for our community. And of course, I know Dr. Mark Horne, president-elect of Mississippi State Medical Association, is also very, very proud of you, Fletcher Horne. Thank you so much.
Yeah.